Hello everyone, the time has come. I'm making a video that actually requires some thought and not just me waffling and saying the first thing that comes to my mind. I love Formula 1, but last season was terrible. And why was that? Max dominance? Partly, but not entirely. There was pretty much nothing interesting happening with the grid lineups other than Alonso to Aston Martin. Some might say Hulk to Haas was interesting, but it just wasn't. Shake-ups at the top of the grid are what matters, and here is the grid that I would like to see. Starting from back to front, for Haas, I would like to see Oliver Behrman in a Formula 1 seat full-time. I know he's not been that good in F2 this year, in the 2 races that he's done, but he has more points than Haas at this moment in time. Yes, he was in a Ferrari, but it was his first time in F1 and he was solid. I think that he can build on that and, bare minimum, be a good middle-of-the-pack driver later in his career. Alongside him, I'm going with Hulk. I love K-Mag, but Nico Hülkenberg was better last year, and this is a merit-based decision. Hulk being there as a mentor for Behrman sounds like a great investment to Haas to try and not have them barely scraping double-digit points. Sauber. Valtteri, it's James. Please give your seat to Théo Pourchaire.
James, it's Valtteri. Fuck you.
Okay, so Valtteri says no. So, Zhou has to give up his seat. Because Pourchaire not having a drive is criminal. And I'm not memeing now, but Bottas is him. He has been doing an Albon and has scraped every little, and I mean little, bit of performance out of that car. Zhou hasn't been bad, but there's only one, and I choose Valtteri Bottas. RB, Racing Bulls. My first Formula 1 video had a section of me talking about how good Yuki is, so you know he's still there. And like I said in my last video, Danny Rick hasn't been that good for a while, and I don't think he's one of the 20 best drivers in the world right now, so who would I have in that seat? It's no secret. The guy who some people thought would have been in the seat this season, and may very well steal that seat in the summer unless Daniel improves, Liam Lawson. He got a points finish in the AlphaTauri in his 3rd drive, and was close to a point in the race before and the race after. I have to give credit where it's due, and performing at a similar level to Daniel, and possibly even higher, considering his inexperience, it's a no-brainer. Now, on to Williams. Albon could be racing a better car, and I wish he was. But with Vals there, I can see them competing for 6th in the Constructors, and I can see Alex being a big part of that. The fact that he scored 27 points last season is mental. He outscored the other 4 bottom teams on his own. And to help Alex not take all of the point-scoring burden, Frederick Vesti. The guy who pushed Pourchaire all the way and finished only 11 points behind him in F2 last season. I feel like this lineup is the perfect blend of an inexperienced but not old driver and a quick young rookie. Alpine, exactly the same. I don't see how they improve. The drivers are good, the car is terrible. There's nothing more to be said about that. Aston, now, this is where it gets spicy. The older and more experienced driver that has had his highs and the former race winner. That Aston always seemed to have one of those. And who I've got it as this time for the 2025 season is Sergio Perez. Like I said, Aston always have a race winner in one of the cars, and Perez fits the bill in every way. And who is the other driver going to be? Is it going to be the boss's son, the star of Siblings or Dating, Mr. Strulovich? Or am I going to go with the guy who put in the most dominant F2 season we have seen in a while, Felipe Drugovich? Which Vich is getting the seat? It's Drugovich, and it's not close. Lance has improved, but my God, Drugovich and Perez, that combination is sublime. Now, how about McLaren? Do I throw a curveball? Does Nicholas Latifi, the greatest driver to ever grace Formula One, usurp Lando Norris? No. They keep the exact same lineup. Moving on. Ferrari, this is already confirmed, so moving on again. Mercedes. Crikey. George Russell is going to have his hands full with his teammate, because across the garage from him is going to be Fernando Alonso. And that is actually my prediction for 2025 and not just what I want. El Plan is coming to Mercedes and it's going to be glorious. Red Bull. I know that Jos Verstappen has been causing mayhem, and this time it's not by beating his wife, but by commenting on the Horner situation as if he's the pillar of morality himself. But no, Verstappen will be staying at Red Bull, and he will as long as they are a top 2 team. In the other seat though, I've already got Yuki in the RB, I've got Perez in the Aston, and I've got Ricciardo confirmed out of F1. Who could it be? Well, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Carlos Sainz. The appendix whisperer is going to have a drive at the top team, and that top team is going to be Red Bull. I still can't believe that he's being replaced at Ferrari, despite how close he's been to Charles, but that's not my decision, it's Fred's. So that leaves him without a seat, and I think Red Bull snatch him up immediately. So, to recap, Hulkenberg and Berman in the Haas, Bottas and Porsche in the Saubers, Tsunoda and Lawson in the RBs, Albon and Vesti in the Williams, France is French, Perez and Drugovich in the Astons, McLaren stays the same, Ferrari is Leclerc and Hamilton, as we already knew, Russell and Alonso in the Mercedes, and Verstappen and Sainz in the Red Bulls. Now, no one can look at that grid and tell me that it wouldn't be the best season of Formula One that we've had in a while. Now, if anyone disagrees with me, let me know in the comments, and as always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.